Welcome to the afternoon update. I'm Ellie Petrusevic. The Australian Olympic Committee has shut down international reports the Tokyo Olympic Games have been cancelled. AOC boss Matt Carroll says they're continuing preparations as normal, but it will be a different type of event.
It is not going to be the Games like it was in Rio or in London. It's going to be very simpler Games without a lot of the pomp and ceremony. It's very much about the athletes and the competition. No real difference to what's happened here in Australia with our competitions, what's happened with sporting events around the world.
Prime Minister Scott Morrison says he's keeping an eye on COVID vaccine supply issues in Europe. Some European nations have had their access to the Pfizer jab cut by 50%. It comes as new rules have come into force today for people coming to Australia. Travellers must take a test and return a negative result 72 hours before boarding a flight. Meantime, coronavirus is the focus for new US President Joe Biden in his first full day in the Oval Office. He's finalising a new COVID action plan to be coordinated by the White House rather than the individual states. Back home now, the Victorian Premier has slammed a decision for Margaret Court to be recognised in the Australia Day honours. Daniel Andrews says the tennis great's views on same-sex marriage are disgraceful and hurtful. And Google is threatening to make its search function unavailable in Australia if the federal government goes ahead with a new media code. The code would force the big tech companies to pay for Australian news content. In sport, Australia's draw for the ATP Tennis Cup in Melbourne has been unveiled. We've been grouped with Spain and Greece for the round-robin event. And former Test captain Ian Chappell believes cricket's jam-packed schedule may have contributed to Australia's poor Test summer. Critics have also taken aim at captain Tim Payne for the Aussies' 2-1 series loss to India. To entertainment news, Netflix sensation Bridgerton has officially been renewed for a second season. The series is on track to be seen by 63 million households across the globe in the first month of its release. A new documentary about Britney Spears' controversial conservatorship is being made. Framing Britney is set to be released next month. And the fifth largest lotto jackpot in US history has been won. Someone in Maryland has taken out the entire $730 million prize. And that's the latest from the Nova Podcast news team. We'll see you tomorrow morning for another episode of The Update.